my honor to invite our keynote speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome to the lectern Dr. Dheeraj Mehrotra, Principal, Kunwar's Global School, Lucknow, India.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I was expecting my PPT just in case. Okay. We are assembled here to discuss a very, very important topic, that is SDG Goal 4 of quality education. We have been talking about quality education and exhibiting it for our showcasing of quality practices at our schools. But unfortunately, we are not able to achieve the goal with the march of time. There are references where we tend to reflect on quality delivery, quality curriculum, quality infrastructure, but at the same time, we are missing out with some connect in the classroom. And that connect matures with the passing of the time and gives a new pace to learning, but with a little dissatisfaction from the side of the stakeholders. So we need to be very clear, first of all, when I'm talking about parameters which are judged for quality education to be made possible as a delivery, but for sure, we need to be also more referenced towards how we deliberate and how we practice what we talk. All the promises which we make during the parent-teacher meetings need to be exhibited with some work done. And there are many, many creative schools, innovative schools, who tend to practice the good practices, the strategies with the march of time, with the help of technology, as we have seen post-COVID. But dear friends, when we talk about the preparedness of the schools to deliver quality education, we need to look beyond the classrooms. We need to look beyond the infrastructure. We need to also look to practice what we aim at, rather than just delivering the curriculum. As I was just discussing about two countries' education system, one prepares for the job and the other prepares for the exam. So now comes the priority where we need to look out as what are we aiming for. Of course, the exams are just the process through which we judge the child and prepare the child for the better future. But aiming at the excellence will only count when we tend to reflect on preparing them for the job. And for sure, the jobs which do not exist today, because by the time the child is going to be out from the college and goes into the workforce or to the job arena, he'll be facing challenges which reflect on the professions which do not exist today. And for that reason, there has to be a practice of creativity, there has to be a practice of innovation, not only from the side of the scientists or the innovators around, but from the child itself or the teachers who are preparing them for the great future. I stand here also to mention about the preparedness for future, not only from the child's point of view, but also the teacher's point of view. The teachers can't really teach through the vocabulary they have had for A for apple, B for boy, and C for cat doesn't exist. It has given way for A for Android, B for BlackBerry, and C for cloud. And that is somewhat we need to eye at, that what are the new age requirements for a teacher to make the classroom creative, innovative, and the one where the child does not sleep with the eyes open. Because at times we find in the classrooms that the children are lost. Even I have a special mention here about the talk which our Honorable Prime Minister just 2 days back he delivered on the topic of Pariksha Pe Charcha. like talk about examination system, and he interacts with the students who are going to appear for the 10th and the 12th exams. And his last episode was just 2 days back, where he discussed about the importance of fasting. Now, fasting is like, there are brothers from Bangladesh who believe fasting during Ramzan. No. He talked about the fasting of digital aspect, the digital usage, the digital fasting, where you leave your mobile for 2 hours or a particular day of the week, that you forget about all digital interfaces you make. And that is how he emphasized on the need, and also requested the parents that more of quality time should be spent with the children in the classroom, and limit the use of digital devices with their children. Because as a part of a parent, we exhibit the best for our children, the best of the schooling, the best of the dress, the food, the living, the care, and also the best of the mobiles, the iPads and the iPods and whatnot. But we need to understand that yes, with the provision of the digital devices goes the affection, the connect, the touch, and we lose our interface with the child, and the children are more happy than being with us as parents. And this has proved that how the mental health of the child will be affected or is being affected because of the overindulgence of the digital platform they are aimed at. I'm sure many of our colleagues who have come from India and Bangladesh shall also deliberate on these topics on day after tomorrow, and of course tomorrow also few speakers on random. And this is going to be just a platform to discuss the scenario about the challenges. Not only we talk about quality education, but how to make education a quality-oriented journey for the child and as well for all of us. We have seen that how we were dependent on technology during the pandemic, and that pandemic came and went away, teaching us the lesson that yes, there is a substitute for teachers, and that is known as technology. So teachers are no longer what we call the kings and the queens of the classrooms, but certainly a facilitator, certainly a data entry operator, who are using the technology in the classrooms to make the children believe in the fact that they can do wonders, but not without technology. So I think it is high time for all of us to integrate the wonderful practices we brainstorm, we talk about, we share among ourselves when we discuss during these platforms, and that limits us to our understanding, because when we see that the participation at this level, of course, we'll be moving to the Management Institute tomorrow, and there also we look forward, because everyone is talking about quality beyond infrastructure, because infrastructure anyone can provide, but the creativity, the practice of quality and the exhibition of that oriented quality measures has to be done by all of us. It is just not going to be attending the conference, but taking away the good practices and practicing them at our workplaces when we go back. There has to be one pre-order notion. We talk about pre-order, that yes, we went there and we observed, and we are going to be exhibiting this and making it as a practice. Because when I move around the globe, I also tend to look forward. Like a couple of months back, we were in Finland, we were in Sweden, and Mridlani ma'am is there with us today. We had shared So many innovative ideas to deliver even classroom observations. People talk about benchmarking quality from Finland, but after returning from there, we analyzed that it is much, much better things we are doing in this part of the country, in this part of the globe. We have another gentleman sitting here, Mr. Kalu Bovila, who is a very senior principal from Sabarmala province, Ratnapura, here in Sri Lanka. We have been knowing each other for over 2 decades. We have been practicing quality. He also invited me, I think around 10 years back, for training 100 principals. And we have been introducing quality circles as a Kaizen philosophy. And that is how we came across, and we try to implement the cost of quality culture, quality circles, and the integration of brainstorming and fishbone diagram to analyze the real life problems what the children face at their work life. So he has been a coordinator. He has organized International Convention of Students Quality Control Circles, and that was one of the formats we could ease out with the march of time. Also, as a special mention, we don't have a delegate from Nepal at this hour, but Nepal has initiated in the school curriculum the quality circle philosophy. They have quality circle integrated in their syllabus, and that's the only country in the world probably, isn't it, Mr. Kalubulu? Mr. Hutchins must be knowing that they have introduced quality circles. Mr. Talukdar from Bangladesh is there. Even Bangladesh is doing a wonderful exhibit and implementation of quality circles, which is the Japanese philosophy and has been brought from the management. The top business schools were teaching quality circles for over long, but now over last decade, and more than that, the quality circles have been integrated in schools just to measure the quality and analyze the quality and giving the children the importance of maintaining the decision-making skills among themselves. Now the CBSE, the Central Board of Secondary Education in India, has integrated experiential learning, design thinking, and many other innovative platforms for practicing the creativity in the classrooms. And it has been a great journey for the innovators and creative decision makers in India to imbibe this form of a creative learning platform for schools to practice. I also tend to reflect when I see to the references about how best I'm going to be defining quality and how best I'm going to be integrating the learning potentials. So that aspect was shared and implemented with, okay. So when I'm talking about the objectives, as heads of schools, we need to focus on respect rather than popularity, establish the clear goals, the vision, the mission, listen to input from your staff, of course. I was just reading an article on Quality Digest USA. The gratitude hour, every Friday 1 hour, the boss calls the staff for gratitude hour, where you share all what you have, the concern, and after that, you know, there is a productivity measure going up. The gratitude hour, you can name it the better name you can, you know, suggest for your teachers. Then, of course, lead by example. As a head of an organization, you have to lead by example rather than telling them do this, do that. You have to do that for yourself. The same for the parents. Provide regular constructive feedback. Delegate the responsibility. It's not that I'm the boss, I'll be doing it every time. Delegate the responsibility. That is one of the creative potentials we tend to reflect. And then, of course, make meetings matter. Take inputs from your staff, colleagues, and fetch on improvement. Yeah. Of course, we also tend to reflect on activities, planning, organizing, actuating and controlling performance to determine and accomplish set objectives by the use of human beings and other resources. We can't replace human beings, of course, with technology that way. And that ideates the new measure of practice in the schools. Next, please. A school leader, of course, the best leaders are also visionaries. They have a goal that they can unite a team around and a plan to help them get there. Not just that, but of course, they are able to clearly articulate their school vision and the goals. So we need to set our goals. We need to set our objectives that yes, tomorrow or 6 months from now, I want all my parents to be happy, and also these feedback things which we have come for improvement. We call it Kaizen. How to improve, what to improve. That has to be pinpointed and processed. Yeah. Then of course it's the matter of attitude. We tend to reflect about just because we are on the same planet doesn't mean we are from the same world. And each one of us bears being a creative genius, and so as our children. Each child in the class is a creative genius. Only thing is, we aim to only measure the genius in the child through the percentage, the marks, which I'm sorry is not a good practice. We need to observe the child with the way he speaks, the way he addresses, the way he manages, the way he deliberates. There are so many reasons to support a good potential in a child rather than just observing him as, you've got poor grades, so you're good for nothing. Smart, hard work has to be done. He didn't tell smart. He said, smart, hard work is required. Because smart working is smart working. You might lose the train, becoming smart. And hard work, even donkeys and buffaloes work hard. So what he said is, we need to learn to work smart, hard. We have to work smart, hard work has to be done, right? Yes, of course. And as I mentioned about the word Kaizen, which talks about continuous improvement. So improve is a word which talks about enhancement. And it continues from your cradle to the grave, right? Anytime, every time, learning is a priority. And that is what we need to look forward. Successful people have one word life plan, and that is to improve. The education minister talked about artificial intelligence. There is a notion that AI is somewhat like over-intelligent format, and we may not be using it, but unconsciously we are using it every moment. Even the mobile phone which captures our image opens up with the visualization feature of AI. I'm talking about Siri or Amazon Alexa. It is all working on AI, and no one knows that we have been observed through the drones as a part of an AI orientation. So this is just going to be another format of how we are going to be learning smart by working hard, of course. Some findings. Now this is very interesting. Teachers consider a school a great place to work if they feel their intellectual and economic dignity is upheld. Teachers consider a school a great place to work. Teachers feel valued and important. See, it's yellow. 40% of the teachers need to be feeling valued. That's what the 360-degree data represents. Leadership invests in the growth, and students respect the teachers. Of course, that is also there. But the maximum percentage which is depicted here is that the teachers need to be given value for their work, be recognized for their work. Next, please. Then the next one says, teachers like to work in an organization where the management respects the teachers, of course, leadership is supportive and participative, and the school has the high reputation. Leadership is supportive and participative is getting the maximum number here. Yeah. So dear school leaders, stop doing the busy work, start doing your best work. That has to be the takeaway. Because we tend to be busy with things which are very, very, not of that value. So we need to understand what we are doing. Whether my teacher who is there is busy with copying of names from one register to the other, documenting it just like an office job, or she is trying to create some digital content for the next class. So we need to see to the quality of busyness by the teachers or by all of us, and that will make the difference. Yeah, the next one please. This was the special mention which I talked about, which talked about the write-up, easing pressure on students. Now this is a write-up which was published in the Hindustan Times in the editorial after the Pariksha Pe Charcha, the discussion with students on examination by the Prime Minister. And this was the findings where Prime Minister narrated the importance of easing out the pressure on students, and also at the same time he mentioned about the importance of limiting the digital usage, the digital fasting, what he talked about. And for that reference, as an educator, we need to emphasize that yes, it is of prime importance. People say that yes, if I snatch the mobile from the child, he might overreact. Let him overreact. There are times when our parents also took the toys, the games, you remember. It was an overreaction, yes, but ultimately they need to be told about that what is right and to what limit it is right. So thank you very much for your patient hearing, and I'm expecting more interesting, of course, sessions by our delegates, and the gentleman from Leeds School is there, yeah. He is going to host the panel discussion and the keynote addresses. So I'm hearing that there will be around 100 educators listening to you all on that day. So it is going to be a prime notion or responsibility for all of us to be to that level, to deliver to the best of our abilities and our learnings. Thank you very much, and may God bless all of us. Thank you.